So we're going to take a couple of minutes to talk about shortening a zipper. I'm going to give you two quick methods, one by machine, one by hand. Why don't I start with the one by hand? To measure the correct distance for our zipper, we are going to be measuring from the top zipper stop. So if you can visualize it, it's going to be the place where the little two metal stops are at the top of the zipper. That's where we should consider the top of our length. For our purposes today, we need a 5-inch zipper. So I'm going to go ahead and use my seam gauge. I'm going to measure from that top zipper stop. Give myself a little mark here so I know where my 5 inches is. And what we're doing when we shorten a zipper is we're going to recreate the bottom metal stop, but we're going to do it with thread. So to do it by hand, I'm just going to start from the back of the zipper, and I'm going to loop stitches over the zipper track. And I'm going to put in about 6 to 8 stitches across here, just to make sure that we've got a nice solid stopping point here. I think this will do it. As I finish that, to tie it off, I'm going to flip to the back of the project. I'm going to put my needle through my threads and leave a loop of thread. I'm going to thread my needle back through that loop. And just for extra security, I'm going to do that a second time. I'm going to come through my loop, shoot my needle through my loop, and then I'm going to trim my threads close to the zipper stop. And then you can cut off the excess part of your zipper. Don't use your good fabric shears for this. I always keep a supplemental scissors for other jobs. And you can cut it off leaving 5/8 of an inch to an inch at the bottom. You don't want to cut it right at the zipper stop. You want to leave a little bit beyond, just like there was beyond your metal zipper stop. So there's a 5-inch zipper that we created using hand stitching. Now I'm going to show you how to do the same thing on the machine. So again, I'm going to use my seam gauge. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mark my 5 inches here. And then on my machine, I'm going to use my zigzag stitch. And I'm going to go to a wide zigzag. The widest my machine will do, at least to start. I'm going to line up my zipper so that my markings are visible through the window in my machine foot. And before I press the pedal, I'm going to test it by hand, and I'm going to make sure that my zigzag is going on either side of my zipper. I'm also, just that back, I'm also going to take down my stitch length so that rather than making a zigzag that's traveling forward, I'm going to make a zigzag that's really almost staying in place. So I'm going to take my stitch length down to a 0.1, so it's really not going to travel, it's just going to go side to side. Now I'm going to test it one more time since I changed that stitch length. Looks good. I'm going to go ahead, stitch again about 6 to 8 times, back and forth. And then I'm going to pull it off of the machine, and that's our machine created zipper stop. And then just as we did before, we can trim it off, and we've got our 5-inch zipper.